If you've been following Coronation Street lately, you already know the cobbles never stay quiet for long. But what has unfolded around Carla Connor-Swain in recent months has left even the most seasoned fans reaching for the tissues. This is not just another dramatic twist. This is a story that is cut deep, blending on-screen heartbreak with real-life struggles that make the whole thing feel painfully close to home. So settle in, because we are about to walk through everything that has happened to Carla Connor-Swain, and yes, you might want to keep those tissues handy. Carla has always been one of Weatherfield's great survivors. Since Allison King first stepped onto the street as the sharp-tongued factory boss back in 2006, viewers have watched her endure almost every kind of trauma the writers could throw at her. Kidnappings, health crises, betrayals, grief, and more than one marriage that ended in heartbreak. Through it all, she has remained the steely, complicated, fiercely loyal woman many of us root for week after week. But 2026 has tested her in ways that feel different. This year, the pain has been quieter in some moments and utterly devastating in others, and it has left fans asking the same question again and again. What on earth has happened to Carla Connor-Swain? It began with hope. After years of turbulence, including the terrifying return of Lisa's presumed dead ex-wife Becky and the subsequent kidnapping ordeal that left Carla locked away and fighting for her life, Carla and Lisa finally found their way back to each other. In April, they made history. They became the first two women to successfully marry in Coronation Street's long run. The wedding was beautiful, emotional, and long overdue for a couple who had already been through more than most. Fans celebrated the name change that appeared in the credits afterwards. Carla Connor became Carla Connor-Swain. For a brief moment, it felt as though the street was allowing one of its most beloved characters a genuine happy ending. Of course, this is Coronation Street. Happiness never lasts. On the very day of the wedding, Betsy discovered a body on the cobbles, pulling the family straight back into darkness. Then came the unexpected arrival of baby Connie, the infant daughter of Carla's brother Rob Donovan. The little girl was left on their doorstep while her grandmother recovered in hospital. What followed was a short but deeply affecting chapter. Carla, who has her own complicated history with loss and motherhood, initially resisted. Lisa, ever the one to see the bigger picture, gently pushed her to open her heart. For a few precious weeks, the three of them, along with Betsy, formed a fragile little family unit. When the time came to hand Connie back, the goodbye was raw. Carla tried to insist she was fine. The looks exchanged between Lisa and Betsy told a different story. Viewers felt every second of it. Yet even that emotional farewell would soon be overshadowed by something far more frightening. In July, the family faced a crisis that no one saw coming. Betsy, still only 19, collapsed at home. Ryan Connor found her unconscious on the kitchen floor of number 6 and raised the alarm. An ambulance raced away, with sirens blaring, while Carla made a frantic dash to the hospital to join her wife. What the doctors eventually confirmed left everyone reeling. Betsy had suffered a stroke. Then, while still in hospital, she suffered a second one. The cause was almost impossible to process. Doctors explained that a blood clot had formed after damage to an artery in her neck caused by a temporary loss of circulation. Betsy, embarrassed and vulnerable, had to tell her mothers the truth. During consensual intimacy with her boyfriend Dylan, he had applied pressure to her neck. Both of them believed it was light. Neither understood the risk. The medical reality is stark. Non-fatal strangulation can cause life-changing injuries, including stroke, even when there are no visible marks. Coronation Street worked closely with organizations including the Stroke Association and the Institute for Addressing Strangulation to portray this with care and accuracy. The result was some of the most harrowing and important television the soap has aired in years. Carla's response in those hospital scenes was pure, protective love mixed with raw fear. Fans noticed the small details that made the moments land so hard. The way she held Lisa's hand, the quiet conversations at Betsy's bedside, the determination to stay strong for everyone else even when her own world was tilting. When Betsy later returned home, the recovery process began in earnest. Speech difficulties, physical challenges, the fear of another stroke, and the long road of physiotherapy and occupational therapy all became part of daily life at number 6. Carla was right there, helping with language exercises, offering practical support, and trying to keep the household steady while Lisa wrestled with her own professional and personal turmoil. The emotional weight of watching a young woman fight her way back and watching her mothers navigate that fight has been immense. Viewers have shared how the storyline hit them personally, whether through their own experiences with stroke, with young people, or simply through the universal terror of seeing a child in danger. Carla, who has spent so many years being the one who holds everyone else up, has once again been forced to find reserves of strength she barely knew she still had. While all of this has been unfolding on screen, something equally significant has been happening behind the scenes. Allison King, the actress who has given Carla such life for 2 decades, opened up about her own difficult period. She spoke candidly about losing her mother last year and then catching a serious chest infection from child actors on set around the time of the wedding scenes. The coughing was so severe that her lung and chest were inflamed. At one point, she feared she had torn an intercostal muscle. She described struggling to take a full breath, being unable to swim, which she relies on for mental balance, and finding herself depressed as her body and nervous system struggled to recover. Weight gain and a lingering eye twitch added to the sense that everything was out of alignment. In a TikTok video that quickly circulated among fans, Allison explained how she turned to reflexology and Reiki and how she is now feeling good and happy again. The honesty was appreciated. Many viewers who had been worried about her reduced screen time earlier in the year suddenly understood. When Carla made her determined return to the hospital in those July episodes, the delight among the audience was palpable. It felt like a quiet victory for both the character and the woman who plays her. Social media has been full of reactions that mix tears with fierce protectiveness. Fans have praised the writing for allowing Carla to be both strong and vulnerable. They have noted the chemistry between Allison King and Vicky Myers that makes every look and every shared silence land with weight. They have discussed the wider implications of the stroke storyline, hoping it raises awareness about the dangers of non-fatal strangulation and about strokes in younger people. Some have speculated about what the ongoing recovery will mean for the Connor-Swain household. Will the strain of caring for Betsy, combined with Lisa's demanding police work and Carla's responsibilities at the factory, begin to test the marriage? Others simply express gratitude that after everything, Carla still has Lisa and Betsy by her side. Looking ahead, the future remains open in that classic Coronation Street way. Betsy's rehabilitation will clearly continue for some time, giving the show space to explore the physical, cognitive, and emotional realities of recovery after stroke. Carla's role as stepmother has never felt more central. There is also the lingering question of whether the couple's hard-won stability can hold under the pressure of long-term caregiving and the everyday chaos of Weatherfield life. Producers have previously spoken about wanting a happy ever after for the pair, yet soaps thrive on conflict. Fans are already debating possible new threats, whether from external forces or from the quiet erosion that trauma can bring. What is certain is that Carla Connor-Swain remains one of the most compelling characters on British television. She has been battered by life again and again, yet she keeps showing up. She keeps loving fiercely. She keeps trying. In a year that has already delivered a historic wedding, a heartbreaking temporary baby, a terrifying health crisis for her stepdaughter, and a real-life health scare for the actress who portrays her, Carla has somehow emerged still standing. That resilience is why so many of us keep coming back to the street. The latest developments have reminded us that even the toughest characters can be brought to their knees by the people they love most. Watching Carla sit at a hospital bedside, watching her help with speech cards, watching her try to hold a family together while her own heart is breaking a little more each day has been powerful television. It has also been a reminder of why these long-running soaps matter. They reflect the messiness of real life, the unexpected blows, and the quiet acts of care that keep people going. So there it is. That is what has happened to Carla Connor-Swain. A marriage that made history. A brief, tender chapter with a baby she never expected. A daughter fighting for her future after a life-altering medical emergency. And an actress navigating her own private battles while still delivering performances that leave us breathless. If you found yourself welling up at any of those hospital scenes or at the knowledge of what Allison King has been through, you are far from alone. Now it is your turn. What has hit you hardest about Carla's recent journey? Do you think the Connor-Swain family will come through this stronger, or is more heartache on the way? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this update moved you, give the video a like so more Coronation Street fans can find it, and make sure you are subscribed for the latest news, spoilers, and deep dives from the cobbles. We will be back soon with more. Until then, take care of yourselves and remember that even in Weatherfield, love and grit can still win the day.